Hey, bonjour YouTube. Today I want you to meet David for the new series of entrepreneurs interviews. I want you to meet him because he's dropping some serious value bombs every time I meet him. I meet him once a month because he takes care of my hair. Yes, come with me and meet David. Hey David.
Hello, how are you?
Good, how are you? How have you been doing?
Yeah, very good. Welcome.
Thank you. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Yes, let's do this.
I need this.
I'm sure that you're saving some time. So it's finally happening.
Yeah.
We've been talking about this for a while.
So David, tell me a little bit about you. What's your story?
So I have been doing hair now for 30 years. I came to the United States in 1979. Before I did hair, I was a circus performer. That's how my family came to the US. And once upon a time, seeing a friend of mine that was doing hair, I decided that this is what I wanted to do. I like the fact that this is something that you get better with time versus what I did before. It was something that you do really good when you're young and healthy and you can move around, but to a certain point then you stop. But the hair industry, and you can continue to grow. So that's what attracted me to this industry. When I decided to start doing hair, I thought to myself that one day I would own a salon. That was my goal from the beginning, not only that I would do hair, but I wanted to own a hair salon.
So you started working for someone else and then you said to yourself, okay, I can do this myself.
Yes, I started working for someone that, her name is Lisa Wanko, and I had a really good opportunity because she was an amazing hairstylist. Not only that, at the time I didn't realize. I knew that she was really good, but I didn't realize how good she really was. Not only about doing hair, but about business as well. So I learned a lot. I assisted her for, I actually went to school with two of her cousins, and then I ended up working for her. That's how the connection happened. And I working for her for 5 years.
That was my mom starting cutting my hair when I was younger. Until she cut my ear. Did I tell you about that story?
No, but you know, like everybody has a crisis story about hair, but no, tell me about it.
Oh, basically she was taking care of my hair like since a very young age. That was pretty cool, very bonding experience too. Until she actually put a scissor into my ear and she actually cut it in half. No,
Cut it in half, let me see.
Exaggerating a little bit.
No, I don't see anything.
Exaggerating a little bit. No, and since then I started doing myself. Some crazy stories too. So you mainly learn about like client interactions, or you also learned about like business?
Yeah, definitely learn about business and also the support. It was an amazing support from my clients. Some of my clients, I have been doing hair for 20 years now. And as I have had changes in my life, they have had changes in their life too. And it was amazing how much support it was when they found out that, you know, I was going to branch out on my own. Not necessarily on my own, because my wife is my business partner as well here. So that's where the Vcollective comes from. It's Valencia is the last name. And Collective is because me and Tina started the company together.
What are the main learnings that you got from that first experience that you actually leveraged putting together and into starting Vcollective now?
So it was a big change because we grew up to a large scale salon, and Vcollective, it's a little bit more of a collective for sure, and also it's a little bit more of a boutique experience. So a little bit more customer service oriented, and not that the other one wasn't, but this is definitely more one-on-one with our clients and our friends.
That's something that I really experienced. I mean, based on our discussions that we had, you really put the customer at the very center. The customer is the most important part of any business. Without customer, you don't have a business. So you try to understand what is the customer experience as a whole. What is it that the customer is expecting from you and the experience that they have with you, with your business. And we had so many discussions about how to improve that customer experience and how can you change your processes.
Well, and because you've been coming to the salon already in time, things that I learned from the previous businesses altogether and other salons is the fact that everything is movable within the salon. Vcollectivesd, we created so that everything, except for the plumbing, of course, everything else can be moved. And you come in a few times, every time you come in, we cannot rearrange something. So the idea would be that the space it's changed. So if we want to have a class, or we want to have a guest speaker, and then we can arrange the space. One time we had up to 47 people attending a class here. So that we can create a little bit of a different space. In other salons that I have been, it was you have walls and things like that, so that creates a lot of limitations. So we're leveraging, I think this is the biggest thing that I have learned altogether, is to leverage every square foot. Yeah. Really every square foot counts. So like we made it so that we can rearrange whether we have 4 people here or whether we have 10 people, we can create it if we do a class. Or if we have meetings, I have some meetings too with some super cool people that I know, and it's like a mastermind meeting. So I'm always not only trying to get stuff from the hair industry, but I'm kind of branching out outside of the hair industry, because there's some people that are doing some amazing stuff. And if I continue to do exactly what every single salon is doing, then I'm going to be doing the same as everybody. So I'm kind of breaking out of the box a little bit. And it doesn't have to be a huge change, but just the fact that you move something around a little bit, people notice, oh, that's a new picture, you know, and that's been there for a year. Just by kind of have a different perception of the space, you know, it kind of creates a different experience. And I would like to have your experience to be really quality, but I want it to be slightly different and not to be autopilot. You were talking about the 80-20 on your channel. I was watching the 80-20, and something that came to me when you were talking about that, or the process that you were doing at that, is on a conversation. So you have an agenda of what you're going to cover in a conversation, or this is also with the employees, that you start chatting about your day and like the fun things of what TV shows you watch and that, and then the important thing gets dropped the last 5 minutes of the meeting. So what I'm really trying to do, and it takes a lot of discipline of me, is to really address the important things right off the bat and allow time for discussion of that, and then you can talk about your whatever shows you're watching and stuff like that, because it can railroad the meeting, and then the stuff that you need to cover you don't cover. So as I was listening to you, the 80-20 is like almost like you spend 80% of the time talking about what TV shows you're watching, and then 20% about what you really need to do. So that's what can for me. So is that really addressing what needs to be addressed at first. So if I rephrase just to make sure I understand, you want to focus on the 20% that is the most impactful at the beginning of the meeting. And so that you make sure it doesn't fall through the cracks. It could go a different direction, and then some really important things might come up, but then you won't have the time to address it. So,
and is it because you have Latin roots? And I know that like it's different. It's you have a culture change, right? Coming to the US, and like every culture is different, and in some cultures, it's important that you build a relationship. Whenever you meet with someone, it's important that you build a relationship first, and then you start talking about business. But like in some cultures, it's completely opposite. Like you need to talk business first, and sometimes not even mention personal stuff. Right.
I mean, for Latin cultures, the first thing is you sit down, you start talking, and they'll give you food. They start giving you food like first thing, right? Like, and like try to feed you right away. So
what are you passionate about besides working here? Like, do you have any hobbies, or besides soccer? We talk much about soccer.
Yes, exactly. That is really important. Besides that, I do martial arts. I do Aikido, which is I've been doing that for the past 2001, so 19 years now.
Wow.
And it's been really good. As of lately, which is really good, Aikido too, it's really helped me out because I do a lot of besides the physical, I do a lot of mental Aikido. I use that on a daily basis in business and in my life.
And I also know that you have a morning routine.
Oh yes, the morning routine. Well,
tell me more about it.
Okay.
And be descriptive.
Yes. So I like to meditate in the mornings. I just happen to wake up early in the morning, which is at first I didn't care for that because I wish I would have slept longer. But I think it was Wayne Dyer. They were saying something about that, like if you meditate for 20 minutes is equal to like 3 hours of sleep. And so I tried to tell myself that. But that being said, I wake up on my own. I don't need an alarm. So when I wake up, and we live in a condo, so like I want to be quiet in the morning, and that's perfectly good time for me to meditate. I try to do 20 minutes of guided meditation, and that kind of sets my intention for the day, and it really helps me out a lot. And also I enjoy. Plus, it's the time for me, and I love mornings that is nice and quiet. Oftentimes I see the sun come up as well, which is like really, it's a new beginning, a new day, and I really like that as well.
Yeah. What's the type of meditation you do? You said guided meditation?
Yes, I use an meditation by Wayne Dyer that is about 20 minutes, and he goes through some affirmation for the day as well as just some breathing exercises. I noticed that sometimes I do shallow breathing, and that is not good for me. And so by having that, it allows me to breathe and get some oxygen going, and I find it to be like really, really good. But I'm not opposed to doing different stuff, but that one lately has been really good because it's 20 minutes and I can do it, and it's amazing how fast those 20 minutes go.
Yeah.
Like when it's at the end of that, and it's like I cannot believe the 20 minutes haven't gone by.
Do you have any other part of your morning routine, or it's mostly meditation?
It's mostly meditation. I like to have my cup of coffee, and I make a pretty strong cup of coffee. And I do it in an Italian press because it's like an espresso. And I started to have some coconut sugar. One of my clients that happens to be a doctor told me that doesn't affect your blood sugar, so I've been doing that lately.
Okay.
Because I am Latin and we like sweet stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, coffee is definitely an important part of my morning, but I've been trying to find some alternative to get more energy without needing coffee. Like, I don't know if I told you, but I started like cold showers.
Oh, yeah, nice.
It's cold.
Yes. Good thing we live in San Diego.
Yeah, that's true.
It would be rough if we're in a place that is like Detroit, that is snowing outside. Cold showers might be a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, I have a friend that lives, actually, that's the one that introduced me to cold showers.
Oh, wow.
So my friend Geoffrey is living in Montreal.
Wow.
Exactly.
Yeah,
my reaction
there.
My reaction exactly. Like, he's doing cold showers even if it's winter there. Like it can be like minus 30 degrees Celsius. So I don't even know in Fahrenheit how much it is.
So what you're telling me that there's no excuses.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Because he's doing this.
No excuses.
Shout out to
like,
Geoffrey.
Exactly. There's no excuses. Plus, I would imagine it gives you more time because if you take a cold shower, it's not as long as a hot shower. I'm sure that you're saving some time as well by all of a sudden your showers are a lot shorter than they used to be. I'm sure.
Yeah.
You're ready to go.
I can do everything in less than a minute.
Exactly.
So thank you, David. I learned a lot, as always, with you. Every month I come here. Where can people find you?
I guess the best way would be our website, which is Vcollectivesd.com, and also our Instagram, which is V_collective_SD.
Yeah. And what about Pinterest? You're on Pinterest too?
Yeah, yep. We have Pinterest, and the links are all on our website.
Okay, great. So thank you very much, David. That was a pleasure.
Yeah, I think so. It's always a pleasure for me. I learn a lot from you every single time, and thanks for making me a part of your channel.
Thank you.